Good morning, children. Today, we are going to read about the weathering the storm in Assam. Now, you have seen in Hyderabad recent rains. What the situation in Hyderabad, right? Almost many low-lying areas were flooded with water, and many areas the people were vacated from their house. This Miralam tank and many other water bodies, they were over filled with water, and there is danger everywhere, right? So with that rain, if this is situation, and here we are going to read about the same thing, and the best thing is here how the people came out of that situation. What is that is needed actually when you are facing such natural calamities? This is a very beautiful story written by Harsh Mander. And before we go into that story, let us know about him. Yes, yes. Harsh Mander was born on 17th April 1955. He is an Indian author and columnist, researcher, teacher, and social activist who works with survivors of mass violence and hunger, as well as homeless persons and stray children. He is director of the Center for Equity Studies, a research organization based in New Delhi. So his work is really very good. The way he worked and that story, whatever you are going to read now, tells you about even his character. Okay, so let us know about him. The cyclone that hit Orissa in October 1999 killed thousands of people and devastated hundreds of villages. For 2 dreadful nights, Prashant, a young man, was marooned on the roof of a house. On the third day, he decided to go to his village. Did he find his family? So that's what you are going to read now. On 27th October 1999, 7 years after his mother's death, he refers to Prashant. Okay, so in 1999, this incident had taken place, and that by that time, that means 7 years over, his mother died. So now what happened? 7 years after his mother's death, Prashant had gone to the block headquarters of Esama, a small town in coastal Orissa, some 18 kilometers from his village, to spend the day with a friend. So after 7 years of his mother's death, he went there to meet his friend, where to the headquarters of Esama, okay, a small town in that coastal region of Orissa, which was 18 kilometers away from his village. Why did he go there? To spend some time with his friend. So now what happened? He went there now. In the evening, a dark and menacing storm quickly gathered. So menacing means very dangerous and harmful storm was there. Okay, menacing means which is very destroys everything. Okay, menacing storm quickly gathered. Winds beat against the houses and winds beat against the houses with a speed and fury that Prashant had never witnessed before. So the storm was really very terrible, and he had never seen such a violence. Okay, heavy and incessant rain filled the darkness. Incessant means the rain which cannot be controlled, continuous rain. Okay, filled the darkness. Ancient trees were uprooted and crashed to the earth, and screams rent in the air as people and houses were swiftly washed away. The angry waters swilled into his friend's house. So he was there in his friend's house, and it was continuously raining. And now what happened? This angry water moved and overflowed along the in a circular motion into the friend's house, neck deep. The building was of brick and mortar and was strong enough to survive the devastation of the wind's velocity of 350 kilometers per hour. So the wind was blowing with such a great force, 350 kilometers per hour, and the building in which he was living, his friend's house, was made of brick and mortar, so it was strong to bear that kind of natural disaster. But the cold terror of the family grew with the crashing of trees that had got uprooted and fallen on their house sometime in the middle of the night, damaging its roof and walls. So the house is no longer, no, the house is no doubt it was very strong. But what about the fear in the minds of the people? Yes, they were very much afraid. What happened? The cold terror of the family grew. It just increased. Why? Because the trees were moving, and because of that heavy rain and wind, the trees were completely uprooted, and one tree fell on the roof of the house, and the walls were broken. So they were really very much afraid seeing all that kind of destruction. The crazed destruction wrought by the cyclone and the surge of the oceans continued for the next 36 hours, although wind speeds had reduced somewhat by the next morning. So, the crazy destruction which was made or created by the cyclone and the waves that were coming, okay, continuously, that was there for almost next 36 hours. And next day when the wind it was a little bit reduced, and then little bit okay by somewhat by the next morning. So to escape the water rising in the water, Prashant and his friends family had taken refuge on the roof. So entire house was there with filled with water. So to escape that and the floods, whatever is coming inside the water. So what did they do? They went and they wanted to take refuge on the roof. They went on the roof. Prashant will never forget the shock he experienced at his first glimpse of the devastation wrought by the super cyclone in the grey light of the early morning. So he was really terrified and he could not forget the destruction caused by the cyclone. A raging, deadly brown sheet of water covered everything as far as the eye could see. Only fractured cement houses still stood in a few places. So wherever you can see, you can find only this water, a ranging deadly brown sheet of water was there everywhere. As far as the eye could see, they could see only water, and here and there a few cement houses standing there. So remaining are all are filled with water. Bloated animal carcasses and human corpses floated in every direction. So when they were looking from that place, they could see dead bodies of animals and human beings were there everywhere. Okay, so they were looking at that. So all round over huge old trees had fallen. So whatever are old, those trees also they were fallen down. Next, what happened? Two coconut trees had fallen on the roof of their house. This was a blessing in disguise because the tender coconuts from the trees kept the trapped family from starving in the several days that followed. So, the remaining days, whatever 2 or 3 days, they they, they were survived because of that coconut trees. Two coconut trees fell on their house, and then coconuts were there. So they used to eat the tender coconuts and they survived for few days. For the next 2 days, Prashant sat huddled with his friend's family in the open of the rooftop. So he stayed very close with his friends there without moving here and there on that rooftop. So they froze in the cold and incessant rain, the rain which was never knew how to stop. Continuously heavy rain was there, and they froze in cold because they were staying on the rooftop. The rainwater washed away Prashant's tears. So Prashant was actually crying, and that was not visible because of the rain there. The only thought that flashed through his mind was whether his family had survived the fury of super cyclone. Was he to be bereaved once again? So recently, 7 years back, his mother died. So he was worried. What would happen? This cyclone, will it take away the close relatives of his family? That means, will they be alive or will they be dead? That was the only thought that was there in his mind. He was worried about his other family members because he was far away from them and he has seen the cyclone. What is that it was doing? 2 days later, which seemed to Prashant like 2 years, the rain ceased and the rainwater slowly began to recede. So it was just 2 days he was staying there on the rooftop, and then the water was slowly coming down. But for Prashant, it was not just 2 days. He felt like it was 2 years he was staying there. So Prashant was determined to seek out his family without further delay. Immediately he wanted to go and search for his family members. But the situation was still dangerous, and his friend's family pleaded him, Prashant, to stay back a little while longer. But Prashant knew he had to go. So it was very dangerous. Even at that time, to move away from that place was not at all advisable. So Prashant's friend's family requested him, pleaded him, please don't go at this time because it's very risky. Don't go. But Prashant could not stay because he was very much worried about his family members. So he wanted to go away. So he equipped himself with a long sturdy stick, very strong stick he had taken, and then started on the 18-kilometer expedition back to his village through the swollen flood water, started moving through the flood water. It was a journey he would never forget. So he cannot forget that journey, the way he was going, that 18 kilometers distance, he walked catching the strong stick and walking through that flooded water. He could never forget that instant. Because he can never forget that because it was floods and what all that he could see is there next. He constantly had to use the stick to locate the road to determine where the water was shallow. So he was using the stick to know where the water was shallow, where the water was deep, and he was moving in that water. At places, it was waist deep and progress was slow. Wherever the water was waist deep, and he could not see, there in that picture you can see that the water is waist deep, and the progress was slow. He was walking very slowly at that time. At several points he lost the road and had to swim. He could not identify where the road is, so he had to swim to that, uh, without, he could not touch his feet, we did not touch the road. So after some distance, he was relieved to find two friends of his uncle who were returning to their village. So he saw two friends of his uncle who were going back to his village, and they decided to move ahead together. So now they found some company, and now he started moving now with them. As they waded through the waters, the screen they witnessed grew the scenes they witnessed grew more and more macabre. Means as they were moving, the scenes, whatever he was seeing, they were really frightening and very costly things. You can't even imagine what had happened. What happened? They had to push away many human bodies, men, women, children, and carcasses of dogs, goats, and cattle that the current swept against them as they moved ahead. So when they were moving along with that water, dead bodies of human beings and dead bodies of animals were coming on their way, and they had to move, and then they were moving aside and then moving forward in the water. They were pushing those bodies. In every village they had passed, they could barely see a house standing, which means all the houses were collapsed completely. Prashant now wept out loud and long. He was sure that his family could not have survived this catastrophe. Seeing that entire houses were completely collapsed and nothing he could see, and then he knew that maybe his family members could not have survived in that catastrophe, calamity, disaster. Eventually, Prashant reached his village, Kalikuda. His heart went cold. So when he went there, whatever he saw, his heart went very cold. Where their home once stood, there were only remnants of its roof. So the water was there till the roof. He could not see the house only. And some of their belongings were caught, mangled, and twisted in the branches of trees just visible above the dark waters. So few things were completely destroyed. Mangled means destroyed or broken, and they were twisted, broken, and got held up in the branches of the trees on the water, where the only water was visible there. Young Prashant decided to go to Red Cross shelter to look for his family. So wherever there was any calamity, the disturbance is there, whoever were alive, they will be sent to a safety place. So that Red Cross shelter, that was called as Red Cross shelter. So he wanted to go there to find whether his his relatives were there taking shelter in that Red Cross. So among the first people he saw in the crowd were his maternal grandmother. Weak with hunger, she rushed to him, her hands outstretched, her eyes brimming. It was a miracle. They had long for given up him for dead. So his grandmother came there, maternal grandmother, mother's grandmother came there, and she was very weak and she was very hungry, and she did not eat anything for so many days, and her eyes were full of tears. And then what a miracle, because they thought that Prashant was dead in that storm. So when they saw, they were really very happy. Quickly, word spread, and his extended family gathered around him and hugged him tight in relief. Prashant anxiously scanned the motley battered group. So when the people came to know that he came there, everybody came there and everybody felt very happy, hugged him. And then he was really uh, a desperate, and all that crowd which was appearance was completely different. That seeing that group, he really felt very bad. His brother and sister, his uncles and aunts, they all seemed to be there, so he could meet his all the family members. So he was very happy seeing everybody there. Now the next problem is, by the next morning, as he took in the desperate situation in the shelter, he decided to get a grip over himself. So he sensed a ghastly grief settled upon the 2,500 strong crowd in the shelter. So he could see that next morning he took up in the desperate situation shelter. He decided to get the grip over himself. First, let me come under myself. He started thinking about himself. He should come out of that disaster, that sad feeling, and then only he can help others. So he sensed a ghastly grief settled over almost all the people who ever were alive there. He could see that they were very, very sad. 2,500 strong crowd in the shelter. So 86 lives were lost in the village. All the 96 houses have been washed away. It was their fourth day at the shelter, 4 days over after the storm. So they were there taking the shelter. So far they had survived on green coconuts, but there were too few to go around such a tumult of people. So They could not eat anything except that coconuts. So there were a disorderly crowd. Everybody was shouting, and then he wanted to just do something to bring everybody into the calm. So he could see almost 2,500 crowd was there who were alive and got disturbed. And then in our next class, we are going to read what were the steps taken by the Prashant to bring everybody into the normal stage. See, disasters will take place, but we being strong and overcoming that and then taking proper steps to bring not only yourself and even the people around you is very important. So what are the steps Prashant had taken to bring everybody into that normal stage? We will read in our next class. Thank you, children.